Ooh. Oh, hi. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Oh, cool. Happy almost Friday.
Amen.
All right. So, your introduction to the other story. You are Grem, yes?
Yes, I think so.
Grem. All right. So, let's see. You are starting off as part of an orc tribe. Let's see if I have a doodle lying around. D&D pictures. Is it this one? Yeah, that'll do. Let me share a quick picture. Smash that button. All right. So, the main part of the story is around the town called Phandalin. Down here, this outcropping of mountains called the Sun Spear Mountains. Okay. And your orc tribe is slightly south of the town, somewhere in these mountains. Oop, the share box just changed. Can you still see what?
I can see the.
Okay, cool. So, whoa, now my mouse is doing things. So you're down here. Oh, God, you know, technology.
That's pretty.
That's where this one. Welcome back. So that's generically where you are starting off, where the town is. The backstory is a few days ago. Basically, the orc tribe has been basically attacking travelers as they come to or from the town of Phandalin along the road, trying to get whatever loot they can. It's a small tribe. There have been some internal political upheavals recently. There is a new war chief. He's a young war chief. He really only has the position because of another orc who is an orc type called an eye. She's plucked one of her eyes out for fun reasons, and got some magical power in exchange. It's totally worth it, I'm sure. She's maybe a little batshit. She keeps going on about someone called Zetsis, and presumably the war chief knows about the Zetsis and some bigger plan, and is trying to establish himself, and the clan is kind of the local dominant orc group, and therefore has been escalating these attacks on travelers. A few days back, you encountered, not you specifically, but the Eye and two of the other orc warriors encountered a nasty group of people that were coming through, who were able to slaughter the two orc warriors, and the Eye managed to escape and come back to your encampment. And since then, there has been plotting around how to avenge the loss of your two orc warrior comrades. So that's kind of the background that is relevant. Let me see. So if you want to look up details at all in your googly, it's called an Eye of Grumsh. I'll type that into the
Thank you.
chat box here. So it's an Eye of Grumsh. Of all of the orcs to play, she's actually one of my favorites. And the Eye's name is Jaruk.
And Jaruk is, the Eye's name is Jaruk.
Jaruk the Butcher. And then your orc chief is Rhorog. Man, orcs spell their names sometimes really fun. Rorg the Young, and he is the young, which is a bit of an insult to him, because normally the descriptor, which is part of the name, would be something intimidating or inspiring, and his is just the young. He's a thoroughly unimpressive war chief so far. I mean, he's been war chief for like 3 months. Basically, it's all new to him, and he's not quite grown into his boots yet.
So he's trying to.
So he didn't really want that job, but he was convinced by Jaruk. There was perhaps a murder of the previous war chief who didn't want to go along with Jaruk's plan, and so at the demise of the previous one, Jaruk basically told Rorg, because they were close, right, that hey, you should be the next war chief, and if you're not, someone else will inevitably step in. And so he then became
Got it.
the next one.
So so the Eye's name, the Eye is the orc Eye of Grumish. And the Eye, go back a little bit for me.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yep. So in the race of orcs, there are a couple of standout specific types. So one is your orc war chief.
Okay.
Right. They have higher stats and more capabilities. And another one that we're using is called the Eye of Grumsh.
Okay.
And they are orcs that are bigger and tougher to fight generically, but they also have magical powers and higher spiritual connections and things like that. And they're missing an eye because they plucked it out. It's totally worth. I mean,
it gave them power.
It gave them powers, and that's a big thing. It's a chaotic evil monster thing, right? So
there's war chiefs and them. So but each one of them is trying to vie for dominance.
So in a normal orc clan, the Eye is not even trying to be in charge.
Okay.
They generally are. I don't like the word, but subservient to, or they know their place in the pecking order. In this small new clan, it is not the case. The politicking going on related to really the aspirations of the Eye. She seems to have plans. She's in league with a dragon. There's a green dragon named Zetsis that allegedly Jaruk is working with, in league with, and that's part of a plan to grow this tribe and get bigger and stronger and better. Basically, evict all the locals eventually once they've gotten big enough, and they can reclaim the area for themselves. That's the long-term goal. So the scene is you and let's see, I can do math. Well, 9 other orcs. You're seated down at dinner in a communal building around a table. It's a Monday, just past sundown. Okay, and Jaruk, the eye, is going over this battle plan that she has come up with. She's spent a great deal of time practicing religious rituals and rites over the several days since two of your clansmen were slaughtered on the street, coming up with this plan. And she exclaims that those travelers who took our brothers will pay with their lives, and the town that is providing them shelter will burn. We will remind these fools that we are the rightful inhabitants of these mountains, and we will begin building Zetsus' empire in the smoldering remains of Phandalin. As she is explaining and getting very excited by this, Rorg, the baby war chief, tries to protest because the timeline is not what had been originally discussed, right? There are, again, there's 10 of you total right now, right? There were a dozen, you're down to 10. It's a very small clan. And he explains that perhaps they should lobby Zetsis for some assistance or reinforcements, to which Jaruk replies that if he is not willing to support her, she will happily end his reign and install a stronger leader if necessary. One of the orcs seated at the table, slightly more battle hardened, asks about details of the attack. Okay, so if we're accelerating the timeline, how are we going to do this? And the attack is basically at the south end of town. I don't know if that was on a picture. Let me go bring, I think I might have to show you a different picture. You would know generally the layout of town though, because it's nearby and you would have done some reconnoitering. That's in the wrong place. Good job, Simmons. Share this screen over here. Boop. So this is generally the layout of Phandalin. These are the mountains at the south. So the attack will start on this farm at the southeast corner. To your knowledge, it is inhabited only by a single woman, presumably a widow, and her son, who is young, perhaps maybe 10 or 12 years old. They won't put up much resistance. So they will be robbed, killed, and their farm set ablaze. And from then, you'll head up the road to this building, which is believed to be the Miners' Exchange. This is a mining town. And so the plan is to do this on Friday night after they have all had a hearty meal and they've maybe done some drinking. The Miners' Exchange should be more or less empty or minimally manned. And so it should be easy to go take whatever riches are there and then set it ablaze. It is known that the building just across the corner is where the mayor or the leader of the town lives. And so the plan is to actually sneak past it and go to this inn, which should similarly have travelers in it with all of their riches and be a relatively soft target, and to kill them all and set it ablaze. And at this point, it is expected that the mayor or the leader of the town or whatever he is will have been awakened, and he will be coming out to see what's going on, and you'll be able to cut down any of his guards and make an example out of him in front of everyone who is gathered to see uh, the fires you have set. Right.
Okay.
So this is the plan. So in a few days, so it's Monday now. So at the end of the week, you'll go in there and start a righteous massacre. Um, there's a protestation from one of your other brethren that this is not uh, not the tactic that you have been taking at this point. So far, you've been conducting raids along the road, travelers, not the actual inhabitants of town. There hasn't been senseless bloodshed, only when there's been too much resistance to handing over whatever riches or goods or things they had with them. And this is a far departure, basically intentionally going after those who cannot defend themselves adequately as a manner of exacting revenge. So that is the conversation that is being had at the table at dinner.
So is the thought that the people who massacred the other two orcs are in this town?
They are in town. Yes, they were
Okay.
going to town, and they were actually observed leaving town several days prior. So the belief is that they are in town, and will somehow they will be drawn out by this and face the music.
And
So the plan is that basically the entire tribe will go in there and wreak as much havoc as they can in an effort to draw them out and convince everyone to die or disappear rapidly.
okay.
Now the and I don't know your backstory, your
Well,
characters. Um,
I can share with what I was thinking
sure.
and see if this works. So my thought was, as a half orc, my father was a human, and my mother is a very strong minded orc. He unfortunately died when Grem was 3. So Grem has some memories, but not a lot of memories of who his father was. But he does know that he did follow the monk order at some point. And he's very enamored with his father and wants to know more about who his father was. But his mother is very, doesn't want to talk about it. He's not interested in having any conversations about it. And so as he grows up, he does everything he can to see what he can find out. So he digs around in certain places and asks everybody that he knows, seeking to find out what he can about his dad, because he and his mother don't seem to get along. She's got some strong political ties, and my thought is this works perfectly with this eye.
Yeah.
She could be part of this little tribe or band, and that she's a strong woman who's really believes in following the ways of the orc and following Jaruk in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not feel that way. He, in fact, at some point, he finally decides as he's growing up, because he's so different from his mother and so wanting to find out about his dad, that he goes off to be a monk himself, where he meets his father's brother, and realizes that his father's brother joined this monk order because of his brother. He strongly revered him, looked up to him, and so now he's finally found somebody that he can talk to about his dad. and he finds out that his dad was part of this order, and at one and that, well, actually, what I think I worked myself into was that he still was trying to find out more about his dad, and he took the ways of the order. And at one point, because of his skills as his battle skills, his mental skills, his political skills, everybody realizes who his mother is. And the order says, look, it's time for you to go out. We want you to leave this order. And basically, we want you to sort of serve as a spy to help us try to take down this Jaruk and this eye. We want to get this. We don't agree with what's going on. We're not part of this. We want to disband it or get rid of whatever we can. And so we need you to leave the order and see what you can do. So he heads back home, basically like acting his tail between his legs and saying, hey, Mom, I'm coming back home. That didn't work out so well. And she is like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. She doesn't have a lot of affinity to him.
Sure. Yeah.
He's got a sister who really pretty much raised him. So that's where his loyalty really lies. His sister is a full orc, though. She's not a half orc. So he still has, his heart is still with the orc world because she is still a part of it, but she is like him in that she's not too much leaning towards the ways of his mother. And so off he goes to try to see what he can do to influence this murderous intent of everybody, because he's a strong believer that, we need to do what's right. And this is what they're doing is not right. And he has this zealous opinion that he can make all the difference in the world. This little half orc, not little, but this half orc thinks he's got it all figured out and he's going to conquer the world. And so my thought then is he needs to get out of that somehow to join this other group. And at some point he realizes that maybe his cover is getting blown. And so he's looking for a place to go, to basically try to do what he can on for the human side of the world as much as he can, but still having a foot in. So it hadn't really worked out how he was going to integrate in, and how that was going to work. But that's as far as I got, as far as a backstory.
All right, so that works nicely. I think what we'll probably do, let's see. So the members of this tribe will say might include Grem's sister.
Okay.
Right. So when he was looking for somewhere to go back with the orcs, Grem would have landed with his sister's tribe.
Okay.
Because that's where he was most comfortable, right? He didn't want to go be with his mom because there just wasn't that relationship. And so he ended up with his sister in this tribe.
Okay.
And what we can do with that is, so after the discussions at the meal, right? Your sister can come and talk with you in your hut, and explain that this plan doesn't sit well with her, right? She's absolutely fine with conducting raids on travelers, and waiting for the right moment to try and expand and establish a fair and equitable orc society, because orcs are kind of shunned by the rest of the surface dwellers here. But she isn't okay with wholesale slaughter of a town, and that doesn't sit well with her. And she asks if you would be willing, since you've left the tribe before, to try and go and warn the townsfolk,
Oh, okay,
right? Say, look, you've left the tribes before, so it wouldn't really be a shock to anyone else. They kind of assume that you maybe are a little soft. And so if you were to leave, maybe no one would be too suspicious, and she could kind of cover up um, for you, but you might be able to escape and go and warn somebody at the town that there's just going to be this nasty attack in a couple of days, and they have to do whatever they can to get ready.
okay.
Okay, and so
I like it.
she'll say, okay, I'll try and make a good cover story for you, but you need to be leaving tonight as soon as everyone else goes down. When you're on watch, um, just leave. Get to town, tell someone, um, and I'll cover for you in the morning. All
Okay.
right. So all right, so it is, we'll fast forward a few hours, we'll call it it's probably, so let's see, that was dinner time. Boom, boom, boom. We'll call it 10 o'clock at night. And so you're you're going out for your guard duty. You relieve the other orc that's kind of standing at the entrance to your encampment, and watch him go off to his hut. And now you're on duty. What do you?
So I'm gonna hang for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not gonna run off right away.
All right.
To make sure that, nobody's walking around. So I'm gonna just hang for a bit.
All right. You hear the extremely loud and terrifying snores of your comrades. You do not observe anyone else is stirring at this point.
Okay. Then it's time for me to head out. And so I'm on my way to the head of the town
Okay.
place. I'm gonna go
Sure.
right to the top.
All right. It's probably tenth of a mile, quarter mile maybe. So you make it there without any trouble. There's, as you approach from the south end of town, there's kind of a fence. Again, there's a farm down here, right? There's not a wall.
Right.
There's no guard towers, and you walk right into town. There's, you see some animals, some farm animals over there at the farm. There's a couple of lights on at the miners exchange that you see over here on your left as you make your way into town. And then ahead of you, you see a slightly more decorated building. It's not large by any stretch of the imagination, but this building stands out. It looks like perhaps someone important would live here, and this is where you all believe that the mayor of the town resides. There's not a lot of townsfolk on the street. It's pretty late right now. As you approach the house, a human wearing some sort of light leather armor and a red band around his arm comes out and gestures for you to stop, and says, what business do you have in town here?
Well, before we go, is there any reason that I'm a feared being at this point?
I mean, there's been orc raids coming from that south entrance to town, so there's some trepidation, but the guard appears to recognize that you are not a full orc, as though
Okay,
perhaps he has maybe seen other half orcs. So he's not immediately assuming that you are a threat, especially because you are alone, but definitely you do sense some hesitation.
okay,
Um,
okay,
and there being a guard coming out of this house, you make the assumption that this is perhaps where you're trying to get to.
okay. So I'll just say, good evening, kind sir. I am in search of some, I'm searching for the mayor, the head of your town. I have some incredibly important information, and I was hoping that maybe you could help me in my search and my quest for the leader of your town. Is there any possible way that you could allow me passage and point me in the right direction of somebody who is in charge of this town, so I can pass on some incredibly critical information?
Critical information in the middle of the night from a stranger. It's an interest. What kind of critical information could warrant waking the town master up?
Well, I'm certainly moving under cover of darkness. And so my presence alone is I'm at risk and peril, and just to be here on my own. So that's why it's late at night in the dark. It's not for any nefarious reason other than to just protect myself and to those who I speak to. So, and the information I want to share is about an impending attack, and how you can possibly prepare yourselves for this. And it's critical that I get a hold of someone who's in charge of the town, so I can warn them appropriately.
An attack. Do me a favor real quickly. Do you have your character sheet?
I don't. Reed, I didn't do that.
Okay.
I didn't even think of it till like dinner time.
That's fine. Do you have a D20 lying around?
I do. I do.
Do me a favor, roll it twice, give me the higher number.
Okay. Hang on one second. Oh my God. Hang on, I gotta get the right. I got 3 different D20 sets, and one I can see and one I can't, so bear with me. Bear with me.
That's all right. I just went to Las Vegas the other
Oh,
week
okay,
and
here it is.
I came back with these ginormous
Oh, that's cute.
D6s for Avery.
All right, so one was a 5 and one was an 18.
Okay, congratulations. That was your persuasion. You succeeded on persuading this guard. And so he nods his head vigorously, says, of course, I understand. That makes perfect sense. Would you mind setting down your weapon out here, just as a matter of protocol, and then you can come inside and wait, and I'll go get the town master. You can wait in his library over here. Can I get you a tea or anything to while I go and awaken him?
I I need nothing. So thank you for the offer. I need nothing. Yes, I will leave my weapon. I will leave my weapon here in your guard.
Okay, thank you so much. And he takes the weapon and opens the door and says, "Follow me." You go into the house. It is well decorated. Well decorated, of course, being a matter of taste, but it looks like the materials are good and the workmanship is good. Clearly, some effort has been spent in this building. He ushers you into a small library or sitting area, um, and gestures towards a seat near a fire that is all but burned out, and says, "Here, sit here, wait. I'll go get the town master, and he'll be right with you." And he throws a log on the fire. He clearly doesn't know how to use fires at all, so he just kind of chucks a log on it. He's a guard. He doesn't, he chucks a log on it and scurries out of the room. You hear him going up the stairs quickly, and a door opens, and some murmured voices. And short while later, he comes down and says, "Master Harbin will be with you in just a moment. He has to put on some clothing. Is one of those weird sorts that sleeps in the nude. I don't, it's his own business. I don't know. Maybe that's anyway." And as he's saying that, Master Harbin comes in behind him and clears his throat and says, I'll take it from here. Thank you." And so Master Harbin pulls up the seat uh, next to you and says, I hear you've some information about an attack or something that we need to be aware of."
Absolutely, and thank you so much for meeting with me. This matter is incredibly urgent. I don't have a lot of time to talk, and so I'm just going to give you the bare information because I've got to get back before I'm missed. There's a band of orcs not too far from town here, and there is a plan to come into town and create enormous amount of havoc, and cause devastation that is beyond my imagination, and absolutely unfair and absolutely unspeakable horrors that are being planned. And I need for you to get yourselves ready and create a plan to prepare yourself for this. Again, I apologize. I don't have long to stay. I really have got to get back before I'm missed. I don't want
Hold on. Orcs. Are these the same orcs that have been attacking travelers on the road out here?
Absolutely. This is the same group of people.
And so they're going to actually come and attack Vandalin now.
Yes, absolutely. And again, you're going to need to put together a plan. You're going to have to activate your people because I can't stop them. But
I don't have people. You saw the man. Those are the people I have. You know what? Hold on. I have I need you to talk to some.
I don't have a lot of time. I'm
a political man. I'm not a fighter. Here, let's go across to the inn across the street. There's a group of people there that they're the only people here that they could help us. They're strong fighters.
Do you desperately need me to be doing this for you?
Yes, I honestly, I couldn't even. I don't know. You would have to draw it out for me, and then I would have to somehow convey. It'll be a lot.
Okay, we're wasting time. Let's go.
Sure. Yes. Here, this way.
My time is short.
He shows you to a side door that opens up directly to the inn across the street that you heard of in the plan earlier. And he says, this is the inn, and I happen to know, actually, it's really funny that you came right now because there's two groups of people that you would want to talk to. One is the gentleman that runs the town guard, and another is this strange collection of travelers that have been here for the last couple weeks, but they seem really adept at fighting. So I think maybe you could explain it to them, and they could put something together. So here, come with me. And he ushers you across the street and opens the doors to the inn, where there's a dining area and a desk over here with an innkeeper at, and he waves to the innkeeper and says, which room is Yarno in? And the innkeeper gestures He says he's in the same one as before. And he says, okay, come with me. They're all dining together right now. Actually, I set up a dinner for them earlier. And you walk across the dining room and you notice maybe a couple of people looking up from their drinks at you, but again, nothing really hostile. They seem to recognize a half orc, although you're a stranger, but they aren't put off by that. They're not threatening you, and you reach these ornate doors opening up what is presumably a private dining area. And he says, "Now, hold on just one moment," and opens the doors, and that is where we're going to stop.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And Nikki has joined us.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, I just wanted to listen in, but I missed 90% of it because
But you heard where we have left Grem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's at the doors of the dining room of the inn with Master Harbin introducing her.
It'd be an exciting place to
Him.
open up.
Him, right? It's your
Yeah,
character.
I would like Grem to be
Yep.
a him.
Got it.
Okay.
It's these mental gymnastics that we do sometimes. We have a character, and this is unrelated. One of the characters in this game is non-binary and uses they them pronouns,
Oh, no way.
and everyone has botched that so thoroughly. It's including people who, and yeah, anyway, yeah, it's really fun to experiment with within the context of
Yeah.
the game, because it's just
Sure.
the gymnastics and so when you have a female presenting person as a male and vice versa, and you're just like, crap, because I can see you, and I'm like, this is a female presenting humanoid, and then your character's not, and it's just like, crap. So we've gotten notes. I need little like little chess pieces or something that I can move around, and
I feel like it
it's
didn't
fun.
take too long to
No,
get
it's
used
only cousin Gariel that keeps screwing
yeah, it's
everybody
only
up.
cousin Gariel because we don't have a face to put with cousin. I don't. That's not even it. I think it's because cousin Gariel. So this is our second time running this campaign, and we've changed a lot for the second time, but we didn't change the character names per se. So Gariel in the last campaign was female, so we keep accidentally referring to them as female, even though they're not female in this campaign.
Yeah, we should have given it a
Different
neutral
name.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. If I had thought of that, it was like Gariel seems kind of neutral. It's like Gabriel and Gabrielle. I don't know. It seems neutral-ish.
See, that explains why we screw it up. That doesn't explain why everyone else is screwed
because
up,
they
though.
heard us call them her a couple times.
We
and then
can't
they
take responsibility for everyone else screwing up the gender pronouns. Come on now. So yeah, that's I really like how that came together. That was good. So
yeah, that was good. Thanks for tying that together. That's
yeah, good. Yeah, I like that. Well, I'll catch Nikki up on it, and
okay.
That'll be good. I like this. This will be fun. So, let's see, things to think about before the next time. So, Grem is in a rush, right? You want to provide this information in a timely manner and try to get back. You'll want to think about what happens if perhaps the discussion draws on and you're not able to get back.
Yeah.
Because I can see that possibility.
I see that happening too.
Not that, again, it maybe we're able to get through that, right? But this is a fun group of people that we're playing with, and sometimes they do things we can't predict.
Well, and then, well, and I guess you guys will figure out if Grem leaves, and I guess there's the possibility that Grem doesn't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a possibility that I'm sitting here toying with, is that, it just gets to be too long. And I'm just like, look, if I'm screwed, it's just taken too long and I'm going to get found out, and I'll just leave it to my sister to figure it out from there.
Yeah.
So, which would keep me there, as opposed to if I do go back, I got to figure a way to get back again. And I don't know if I want to put that stress on everybody. So maybe that's just the thing. They'll just be like, you know what? This is taking way too long. You guys have really fucked my day up. So you're just gonna have, I'm just gonna have to.
You're stuck with me now.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you want to have work in your group? Because you got one now.
Now you're a +1. So
Yeah, no,
well,
that's
yeah. Again, we'll have to work that to see if we can get that convinced.
Yep.
no. I
And
think
so,
that, don't forget to go back for your weapon too.
yeah, no, I
Just
trust.
as a,
I forget. I know. I know I've got to get that weapon back.
it's one of those things. The first couple times that you're playing through, you'll do something and then you'll forget about it, and then the DM, those damn DMs, I'm looking at you. They'll point out that you left something or forgot something, and they're like, "Do you have this?" And you're like, "What? I did." Crap.
Well, and I've got to figure. I have to be honest. I've got to figure what that weapon is, and I've got to do the player sheet because, like I said, I didn't even think of that till this morning.
Yeah, and we can definitely set aside some time if you want to roll through building that, because I know it can get a little.
That would
Well,
be fabulous.
I also asked Kate and Abby also said they'd be happy to help too. But
Okay.
they said
Oh,
that you
there you
probably,
go.
they said you've read the book cover to cover, so you might be the best first person on it out of everyone now.
Well, Kate gave it to me, and you're both parents. You understand. You know when your kid gives you something,
Yeah.
pay attention.
Yep, it's true.
It may not be something you really want to read, but it's something that your kid gave you.
So you read
it. Yeah.
So you could be
So
our new rules lawyer.
Oh, trust me, I don't know it that well. So yeah, I did ask Kate about maybe helping me, but I wasn't sure how much. I suppose she can help me with the player sheet. That won't
Mhm.
Yeah.
spill any beans on anything.
No, and we
Yeah,
can help
and
with
if you do have
background and-
specific questions or whatever,
Yeah.
you can always reach out to Nikki or I if it's something that you're
Okay.
concerned about, maybe
if
sharing
you don't
with
want
one of
to,
the other
if you don't want to
players.
share like character details and things like
Okay.
that.
Because that's the thing. And I'm sure you already know this, but I just doing the over DMing thing.
Please.
What
Please.
what you do or don't share with the rest of the group, right,
Right.
can greatly change that dynamic, and so do with that as you will, right? It will be evident, of course, that you are half orc and not a full orc. And so that may help some of the convincing, help allay some of their concerns and so forth, right? But of course, if you will have to tell them probably that you were in that clan until 45 minutes ago. So how you share things, what you share, how much of your background, maybe will that help convince them one way or another. Definitely there's a great deal of the cloak and dagger, and are we trying to obscure facts, or and then they'll start rolling their dice to try, well, is she telling me everything, and so yeah, it's always fun with new players. There will be another new player. I don't know, Nikki, have you already told?
Told me Gloria that
Yeah.
Gloria was going to
Yep.
be part of it.
So we're bringing on another new character, so there will be a whole new dynamic with both you and her
So
joining.
are we both coming in at the same time then?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna try and arrange it to be in the same session. I
Yeah.
don't think we can get it to the same exact moment, but
No,
it'll be close.
it'll be close.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she won't be spoiler alert, she's not on the other side of that door.
Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten her there yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
Actually, at
exactly
this
where
moment,
she is.
okay, yeah, she's not at dinner with the rest of the group.
Nope.
So you'll get the
Okay.
first introduction.
Okay.
Whereby you, of course, I mean Grem,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is a great
This
name.
was
I
helpful.
love it.
I got to be honest, I was pretty nervous. I was like, Kate, I don't know what to do. Kate's like, just don't worry about it. I was
Yeah,
very
That'll be
intimidated.
fine. And if you want, we do record all of these, so I can throw this up on my YouTube and send you the link if you want to go back through.
You know what? Yeah, that would be good because the
Yeah.
beginning part of that story I would appreciate.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just correct.
It is really helpful when you're like, what did I say about my character at one
Oh
point?
my
Yeah.
God, yeah. DMing, that was probably the single best move I did is I
Yeah.
paid for the Zoom, so I have enough cloud storage where we can record these damn things, and then we can pull them down and just go back through. And we're like, oh yeah, back at the beginning they did, because you'll get into these 4-hour sessions and you get to the end, you're like,
What did I say?
what even happened in the first hour?
Yeah.
They did something stupid that took them down this path, and that wasn't what was it? Oh yeah, Leon opened a box. That's what happened.
Got it.
Good job, Leon. I'm always going to go back to that. Did we? Has anyone told you about the box of centipedes?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I love it. So Leon was playing a human, so he has no dark vision, and he was playing a class that didn't afford him any armor.
It's your class. He was a monk too.
He was a monk, right? So he was a monk human in a cave.
Pitch black
And
cave.
it's pitch black in there, and he stumbles into a box, a big wooden crate. And like the rest of the group is also kind of stumbling around the cave, and he's there effectively by himself. And he's like, I'm just gonna open this damn thing.
Jeez.
And this was the first session. And as a DM, right, I can't tell you, hey, don't do that. So instead you ask, are you sure that's what you want to do? And he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna pop the top right out. I mean, just
Anytime the DM says, "Are you sure?" you should probably pause.
Okay.
right. Yeah, just call that time out. Say, you know what, I need to go freshen up for a minute. Can we take 5 and we'll huddle around? Yeah, definitely. Some giant centipedes just came out of there and attacked the whole group, and
Oh, jeez.
it was beautiful. One of them, one of the group members managed to pick one up and throw it out the door that they walked in, and it just scurried right back in. It was like, I'm a centipede, I don't care.
Yeah,
It was,
that's
they all
interesting.
survived, right? No one died, but it was just one of those moments where people will do things because it's that character. That's what the character was gonna do. What do you want?
Yeah.
He pried that box right open, and
And then there were some
there
centipedes.
you go. There was some centipedes.
Caution be damned.
So yeah, thank you so much. This was actually great fun. I like these mini sessions where you do some character building and all. It's super fun.
All right, guys, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Good
All
night.
right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.